Firefighters are investigating a two-alarm fire in North Fargo, just west of the downtown area.
It's on the 1400 block of 1st Avenue North, and it was called out around 3:30 this morning. The Valley Today's JC Dawn. She is there with the latest. Good morning, JC.
Jordan, Phoenix, we're just now getting a look at the aftermath of that massive fire. It has been 3 hours. Crews have been on scene here in North Fargo battling these massive flames. I'm going to step out of the way because right now they are surveying the damage. You can see they have a caterpillar going in. They have torn down those walls, and I have still seen active flames on the ground. They are still battling with hoses, trying to get this under control. This is 1st Avenue North in Fargo right here. This is a look at that damage. You can see now that the sun is up, they still have those hoses out trying to get those flames, those hot spots. This wind today has not been a help. Right there they go with that water. You can see they have 14th Street North to 16th Street North on that stretch of 1st Avenue North. They have that closed off because they have so many personnel here in Fargo because this was a massive fire. Now, they have battled a fire here before. This was December 2020. The first 2/3 of this lot caught on fire, and now they're here again. It's the back 1/3, and you can see total destruction. They have been tearing down walls, and still, again, just moments ago, I saw active flames on the ground. So still very active. I've seen an investigator on scene. So far, no reports of any injuries, but Jordan, Phoenix, I'm going to stay on scene and continue to bring you the latest.
Yeah, a lot going on there still right now. JC Dodd reporting live. Thank you. And as she mentioned, this isn't the first fire at that area. That same building burned back in December of 2020. The owner of the property, Gary Reinhardt, was then charged with attacking a Valley News Live crew in front of the warehouse about 5 months later. That was in May of 2021 after the Fargo City Commission ordered the demolition of that building. Also breaking for you on this Wednesday morning, a North Dakota farmer detained in Ukraine on charges that he plotted to assassinate a senior government official. He has now been moved out of the embattled capital of Kyiv.
U.S. Senator John Hoeven says that Kurt Gross-Hans of Ashley has been relocated outside of Kyiv for his safety. Now, details, they are limited, including where Gross-Hans was moved to, and when investigators in Ukraine have accused Gross-Hans of paying someone to kill a former business partner who now serves in President Vladimir Zelensky's cabinet. Gross-Hans has denied the accusation.
6:52 now on this Wednesday morning. Let's get a check of your fast track forecast, and it's a first alert weather day. Some nasty stuff, Lisa.
Sure is. Really unpleasant to be outside today. We've got wind coming our way, and on top of that, some falling snow, some sleet. So it's wind driven right at you as you're trying to get to where you need to be. Here's a look at our latest alerts. We've got that winter weather advisory in effect through today and into 1 o'clock Thursday afternoon. So this is a long-lived event. It includes most parts of our viewing area, and we're looking at another 1 to 5 inches of snow possible in a lot of these places, especially in those tree-lined areas of Minnesota again today. So adding to yesterday's totals there as we go through the next couple of days. Winds will be increasing, so that's going to be a big factor for everybody. We do have a high wind warning that also takes effect this morning in right along the Red River and west from there in that deeper blue color. Lighter blue is an advisory, and those north winds will continue to pick up again with those gusts up to 60s. So that's going to be a problem whether we have snow or not. Where we do, of course, we know visibility will be down. So looking in the Southern Valley, you can see the focus for snow is into South Dakota and more into Minnesota right now. Wahpeton, Breckenridge right on the edge of some heavier snowfall that's stretching up through parts of Clay County, especially over toward Hawley, back over toward Lake Park and Audubon and Detroit Lakes, and Highway 34 again getting some snow down toward Frazee and Perham, and then the Mahnomen area too. Grand Forks looking quieter, northeastern North Dakota looking quieter as well. So right now, Minnesota, the focus for those scattered snow showers. And there are going to be more bands of snow as this all rotates around that swirling low into Minnesota. And it may expand a bit a little farther west as we head into tonight. So even if you're not seeing snow now in eastern North Dakota, that could be changing over the next 24 hours or so. The winds will be strongest in that area. So we're looking at some of our strongest gusts right now into the upper 30s. Oaks up to 37 miles per hour. That gust out of the north going to be a big problem here all day long. Temperatures are near freezing or even below freezing. So there are going to be some areas where we get some accumulation. It may accumulate for a short period of time and then get really kind of slushy out on those roads yet again for today. So wind gust planner, we're seeing those winds pick up this morning. Watch as we head through time today. We'll make our way into the midday hour, the lunch hour, and temperatures at that point, or rather wind speeds at that point, gusting into the 50s, especially southeastern North Dakota, those areas under that high wind warning. This continues into the afternoon. So drive time going to be our toughest period here today and extending into Thursday with these gusts both days possible to 50 and 60. Poor visibility where the snow is falling and whiteouts in those places where the snow and wind are. And just slick in some slushy roads. So for today and tomorrow for our first alert weather days. Something to look forward to here, though, for this weekend. Melting and temperatures getting into the 50s and the sun returns, too. But next couple of days, please pay attention to what's going on. We'll be right here for you, keeping you updated.
Yeah, we sure will. Lisa, thank you. And that continues with our road conditions here this morning. We are now seeing them get worse throughout the morning as we've gone on. We are talking wet or slushy roads throughout the Grand Forks, Devils Lake, Valley City, Jamestown area. However, here in the metro, just north and south of it, what I've outlined in green and circled, that's just I-29 north and south both ways. It's still considered green on the map, which means seasonal road conditions. However, with temperatures hovering right around that freezing mark, it can turn slick real quick if you're not careful out there. A check of Minnesota right now. Also on the Minnesota side around the metro, we're talking green on I-94 and Highway 10. Gets worse once you get past Hawley, though, and head towards Wadena. There we're talking partially covered. There's a crash reported just south of Detroit Lakes this morning. A spin-out reported right around Sabika this morning as well. And then as we head up more into northwestern Minnesota, there we're talking about some green or seasonal conditions as well. Thief River Falls, kind of a mixed bag there. Some seasonal, some partially covered, so make sure you're careful on that. Highway 2 is looking pretty good until you hit about the Foston area. Then it's talking about snow on the road there. Make sure you stay with us right here on the VNL News and weather apps throughout the day for the latest. Phoenix.
New this morning, a Minnesota police officer is shot and a suspect in custody after reports of gunfire in a Roseville neighborhood. Police say that a Meyer fired more shots when officers arrived. The officer is expected to survive, and also the suspect was also transported to the hospital. Neither man's condition has been released. In North Dakota, a woman has pleaded not guilty to neglecting her newborn daughter, who was found dead when police were called to her home. Court documents say that Bismarck police responded to a call in February of an unresponsive child and found 3-week-old Starlight Black Elk had died. 26-year-old Cassandra Black Elk told police infant was swaddled and asleep on the bed about 1:30 in the morning when she woke up around 6 and she found the child unresponsive. A Monoman County man is headed to court this week on charges of abusing 3 children under the age of 13.
23-year-old Wyatt Clark is accused of criminal sexual conduct. Court documents allege the abuse happened numerous times over the last 3 years. A typical drive home from work turned into an emergency for a Good Samaritan.
Daniel Munyan was on the I-94 near Moorhead Monday night when he spotted a car that was upside down in a water-filled ditch. He and another person that saw the incident pulled over, ran over to the car and broke a window to pull the driver out.
They performed CPR and the man in the pickup seemed to come to for a bit, but Munyan later heard that man died.
Hopefully they have peace of mind knowing that there was people that were trying to get him home to people cared about.
Police ID'd that victim as 72-year-old Steve Weir. The exact cause of death is now being investigated. A Fargo South High School teacher is out of the classroom and soon to be out of a job. School board members voted unanimously yesterday to suspend Kevin Kennedy without pay while he goes through the discharge process.
Kennedy is accused of asking a student if they've ever sent nude photos, giving a student a neck massage, talking about a student's grades to others, and asking students about their virginity. President Biden is expected to extend the pause on federal student loan repayments today, continuing relief to an estimated 41 million borrowers.
This would be the 6th extension of the pandemic-era program, and it's expected to last at least through August 31st. More than 36 million people have not had to pay on their loans since March of 2020, totaling about $195 billion so far. He is coming back. Five-time Masters champion Tiger Woods says he will play in this year's Masters tournament.
Woods, he has been off to the Augusta Nationals for several days, now to practice and test out his surgically repaired right leg. He suffered a really bad injury back when he had a violent car crash in February of 2021, but he's ready to tee up and go for his 6th green jacket.
The Today Show and CBS Mornings are just about to start, but the Valley Today rolls on. More live up-to-the-minute news and weather coming up for you right now on the Fargo CW. Otherwise, have a happy and safe Wednesday.